moments no one else can know. I will keep them close.
Let me give you a little history of how the Book of Love came to be. And as I talk about my history of this, I want you to know that this particular pathway is available to you too. Every step I took is available to you. It's just one way of what we might call the entry point into the purity of the divine that is you. Not the purity of the divine that you're striving to become, because to do that is a big error. Please do not try to become the peace, love, and joy, the acceptance, abundance, and freedom of the divine. Drop all activity to that. Instead, accept, since you are acceptance, that you already are the peace, love, and joy, the abundance and acceptance and the freedom of the divine. That's the only do to be. And that's actually a quote from the book. So the history of it begins, just like I think a lot of you will resonate with this. There was an insatiable, uncontrollable desire to find God. That has actually been with me since I was a child of about 10, maybe 8. I can remember I was involved with the Baptist church. My parents were Baptists, and I can remember feeling the desire to become a member at such a young age that I wasn't allowed to. And every Sunday when they had altar call, I would look up at my parents with tears in their eyes. Please let me go today. Please let me go today. I can still feel the energy of that. And they would just shake their head. They, what's wrong with this child? Finally, I can remember bolting out of the pew. I don't remember whether I got their permission or not. And I went down the aisle absolutely wailing, like a small animal that had been hurt or what. I had no idea why I was wailing so hard and so loud and shaking all over, but I was accepted as a member in the church. And then they had to baptize me, of course. I almost drowned because I was so short. The baptism was like a lake. But this was not something I conjured up. It was something that was from within. It was some energy I didn't understand. It was just this desperate desire to know God. And it continued to increase. And, I grew up, I went to college, I got married, had a child. I still had this voracious appetite. I had not found what I thought I was looking for. You all have an image of what you think you're looking for. I encourage you to drop that, because whatever image you come up with, it's not it, because it's all it is. It's all it is, not just that. It's all of that. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. I even became a minister. And I can remember taking my husband to the airport and driving all the way back home, and the house I knew would be empty, and I can remember out loud screaming and begging God to please find me. I couldn't find God. God was going to have to find me. I tried and tried and tried. So I walked into the house and I sat down on the couch and I said those words, "You'll have to find me, Lord, I can't find you." And by the grace of God, I felt fire in the pineal gland area, the third eye area, and then the wave of energy just possessed my body. I began to spin. This in the forehead grew hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, and then it felt like as if my heart, something like a rotor-rooter had gone in my heart and totally exploded it. And then I wailed, I wailed. I just wailed. And then the crying subsided, and after that all subsided, I was literally, it felt like awareness was sucked somewhere. I didn't know where. It was a sphere of some kind. And there was this peace that I had never, ever experienced before. and a love like I had never experienced before. It wasn't tangible, but it was there. And I would ask a question, just like you've been asking me questions today, and there would be an immediate response. And I would ask another question, and then there would be an immediate response. I would get these answers to every question that I had, you know. But when I came out of that, I felt like I had arrived. But little did I know that was just the beginning. So that was the beginning of the process. And that fire that I experienced and that water cleansing, I really feel is equivalent to what is referred to as the baptism in a lot of movements, a lot of religious practices. And it started the cleansing and the purifying and the balancing that you were talking about. And it was there was so much that needed to be balanced, that needed to be clear, and that needed to be aligned with what is true, that I started giving myself over in meditation every single night. I'd crawl up in the bed, take a shower before, and then crawl up in the bed all dressed in white. My bedroom was white, my sheets were white, the bedspread was white. I was obsessed with white. And the energy would just roll me around and shake me all over, and I supported Kleenex. I'm sure I gave them all their profits. I went through so many boxes of Kleenex. It lasted for 2 years like that. Most of you that are awakening that rapidly now don't have to have that extended time, because there's so much that has been lifted by the beautiful, I don't even know what to call them, angelic humans that process so much for humanity. They didn't realize they were doing that, but they were. So, and I offer that to anybody that's listening to this. And this is bringing me then to how this book came to be. At one point in my own spiritual evolution, the cleansing process reached such a level that I could at will go within, surrendering all of my thoughts, my feelings, there was essence watching. And at first it was speaking in tongues, and then at the snap of a finger, a master teacher that I was working with said, "Now in English." And so the tongues that were coming from me, because it was just garble, the energy was wonderful, but I had no idea what it was saying or doing or anything until this master snapped his fingers and said, "Now in English." And then it started translating in the language that my brain mind could comprehend. And so my husband and I would sit looking into each other's eyes. This went on for about 2-3 years by ourselves. We would just come together, and the voice would start speaking. And so we taped them on cassette tapes. And then little by little, and we saved them, I started doing retreats. And people would come, and I would sit with them and allow the energy to speak. So I taped all of them. Make a long story short, the book is about 17 years worth of those messages that came through from that pure level. So that's why I say that you have access to that. It's the same realm of existence. It's the identical truth. It will filter through you in different ways, as artists, as dancers, as musicians, as mothers and fathers, as whatever is your passion, whatever is your gift in this. That realm will filter through and make itself known. I promise you that, but you must stay in a desired state for that to happen, and continue to identify with the state that is already that. That's all you have to do now to heal this mess we've created. You identify with the state that is the true nature of who you are. And it will fix it, because it's already perfect. And that's the truth. So, now we have the Book of Love, the Word made flesh.
Memories we shared together, moments no one else can know. I will keep them close to when a kiss had followed this, love was meant to be. Time goes by, and the snow is drifting slowly in the sky. Cold night, as you lie beside me, I can hear your heartbeat. You have lost yourself in dreaming. I have lost myself in you. Now we lie beneath the sky, stars and midnight blue, stars and